Gambia Matters. With me here today is Fansu Kamara and Mr. Lamin Sise, and with your host Omar Suare. Our today's discussion will be centered on the future of the Gambia at risk. Ngalon bi mbe kachale nyatilinka safo we confront a hard truth me alonko abe den area min nalumuti ko Gambia la future abe bulole kono me alonka mantara la mane yare tawluka ko ni men commandi as risk because nga ajele fenjama lewi alonko men be mbatandi kan bawol kono when we look at the part of democracy, we look at the security level. Nga level jama jibe based on economy and so ikatarako oto Gambia le future bedamento is at risk. So but then budna kajani kono me my korean gesola say if I introduce mole tulum jumalti ko lansna dum mo kono to you Fansu.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Me mo be controller Kunku TV. Ngamira say mangelun tantijang no mun na sa wanyandi fonani. So kontanta ba ke bi alen soto jang ko teke anali belief tan nako ngalon nindu men soto ane nga fam ro men soto demanding ma be long be on dal mutalibol le yon sina ngo se anyo tema katala ka mbani mbadi un kala mutande ko la melbe banko kan because ne banko dal den dala ala sinen samo be nyaade lambe mun nakala isaje ka nyum banko londe on a stronger foundation of good governance, human rights and democracy.
Good. Thank you, Honorable. Hola, Fansu. Sorry for that. Okay. So, lafakalon because anga dia many sino doli le ba dol melong wala sino ni ka dol la signa for program ujube. Isa fo mole ila karango and ya kundo sutiani ko les na fo mole muni mila do kuri sainde.
Abarka baka koteke ndamum Fansu kamaraldi wuluta sandu kuonkule basis nganna karanda muto kuonku jele mboto ton data das lames sate wala membe kuonku balaje biri nganna upper basic education o ko woto nata sawon kana komboja tata nema su senior secondary school nganna high school education kije. Then I proceeded to University of the Gambia nganna kara fana tintinta dame wolom political science te nganna karanke woldo fo alanata manda benjira Cairo kono wolom Fansu Kamaral tariko de ya ndalom fanang national youth parliamentarian for Sandu district Sandu constituency sorry ndalom woti ndam Fansu Kamara so ngara that's all yeah.
Good. Abraham Kamara. So, Gabriela position mentioned as the national youth parliamentarian. As you know, will be finding in Canada why Mantara ila title decal as honorable. But just to give a brief explanation on that. Most ekaje moja be jelmeni alonko title nying amang ibatan di back. Wala do fan be jelmeni alonko because fiki komandala. But mostly ka tara political science student le kon back ala area. So, okay that down the team Fansu bulkaje ko let me not address him as honorable but nga command as Fansu. So that is the reason ni atara bemba jube ka kana je ko he's an honorable but I'm still calling him as Fansu. So to Mr. Sise.
Assalamu alaikum jiber lalo. Kontanta bake kam fango jenim platform auto. You know, yeah, nyimu kiril la teme alon ko nyin kilir sifal mon nyante dankule lale. Yes, ngalong mandali kanaja. Ina muna first time to kanaja andum mala finye ke signal monte kanaja. Yeah, because these are national matters many along. Nyan nalenga finting a discourse at our national level because you know bankola yirwatitano dolfunding ke koma. So wakambala always ninku mandiro kata kana kadiamu banku kuola you know mobile nyana turn out la ya hakilin dingo men soto ya fay mo la hakil balka ngajibe kuol sitano nyade. You understand? So Omar kontanta bake ka fintenang Konku TV you know anala follow wal aning itememu na gesoti aning de mam Fansu. I'm very glad to be with you guys here. Yeah. So nobody je jani Omar be continue la ka fonta malti ko take mbatu nga falen tamu jumalti ndalam lamin SFC seti you know mbota ki anne ki ambajana ngana primary school ke Jefarang Lower Basic School mbota jen tata sankandi nyora jata ba basic cycle school ngana upper basic college je mufta combo ngai sandoron gol fon samnya di combo to Busumbala. I complete my secondary education from Model Senior Secondary School. Upon the completion, I proceed to Gambia College School of Education. I pursue advanced diploma secondary on English language and also social and environmental studies. Mol safanya di SES kodi. Yeah, so this is me. I am currently a teacher at Abuko Senior Secondary School, and my subject area is government. I'm a government teacher at Abuko Senior Secondary School from 2023 up to date. Yeah, thank you so much, Omar.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sise and Mr. Kamara. Along a political science student plus a government teacher. Along then table at a soyala be tenslale. Roni member in Jube kamene along ko be join kanka Jube. Albe konku TV le Jube kan program we ka fami the Gambia Matters. Proka dong program nyin kono. Na nyin karul tala bundal team. Follow abolo kono the government the governance and democracy fulanjango security and sovereignty. So any other time when permit you will proceed to others. Nyin kar follow be den damendo. That will go to you, Mfanzo. For most of the bang Gambia la democracy. Gambia democracy. Taliban from 2017 kana be saimento walanton sa fono leko Gambia democracy yin abe ji kana level be ji kanne sa democracy la ala sarfo be man timma je.
Abarka bake Mr. Suare. Yo being yo kuma bal nati bi prunga kacha because ne bankola alhalo jibe bi mbete momento inara jibe namarlo Kenya benyabeng. And if you look at the concept of democracy, you understand yo jibe bi eka muru yatari ko jibe because mol botanan dulal to me mol futande jambi ya kumada bake jannembe dunno kono nga kacha muna ketano. So 2016 Gambia no wulta yaje ko maral kurum membe num banko kan for 22 years ka dang isaje mo kilin kana si semboto ye futa tembe ye farti ko mo kana diamu mo kana check kaje ko ebe men na mambeta o nyanda lola nyinna kan. So mbolo kono num fo sanje mo wonde fula dol fata e dol sorong dol yela wulu banko bula kata. So kamala molnara dum 2016 2017 transition period kono dame alon ko ngalon standing dictator member banko kan former president Yaya Jammeh ngala maralu kurun ka wutu nyim banko ka yo ban nara jube coalition 2016 I hamol la sotono bol kono be constitutional reform kala pour ka falendiro ken maral kitabola yo because ne constitution o jibe maral kitab kuma rimbalam because constitution wala kanyitandi atel be banko sifa nyaadi la sotla wala constitution wala do ko it is about the life, the future and the destiny of a country. Yo akumara bake Gambia no lialon ko constitution joma leka banko yirwande on the left of constitution sifa jomal. So yo hamol sotonu kaje ko security sector reform yake fomol na rafuda bi mbenyen tembo mento. So ne Gambia la democracy jube e ka jube loko come to me it is immature in a sense that abe grow kan it is growing yo but mamfuda level to molga men command advanced democracy mala afuda to level because na fuda to ku jamal beke kam banko kan na maral bundal ngamel sasi pour yanna masakuna tamande e kamanya men feka loi tankale ya kanda o sifal fol kakele wol kake nyaadile because ne ajibe 2021 draft la 20 okay ni o jube jamal dum da kunna adu ay hamme jamal la soto ni a jube pour ka banko osai into a third republic ay sa nga banko la maral bundal ki londi e nyanda lola nyamen pra jamana fa ara kana tarje na mansa kunda bundal manyana tarje kamul nafa melbe system o dam bankono because mansa kunda lotale pour molle so kamala ni nada jube bi e ka jikilate because banko la marlo Kenya sometimes ni mo de melongo la miro ka fanu fa e kasila because ni mansa kunda in jube e ka brako democracy banko kay be democracy yiru wande kan yo bar sambo democracy tunkun mel soto folbe ma fakan wala minen karote fo journalist o tela do ko ka nyamale watari man sila comme mote fala comme deda haydara nyowo kana soto kote so foyo ko fana nyinen ka fo na democracy me yalon ko kan siso konkala fabe na balunya faba falinkan so ni abe jube man sekundala al halo jube tankola karola because security is very important it diamuno la democracy la without putting security into context akumata back I don't think democracy can exist like in anywhere when the security is at its lowest level so ni na do be jube fana you mo fal melbe ke kan ya na banko la territorial sovereignty e ka attack from external forces e ka jiklate so kamala ni ajibe banko la democracy to me abe burukan ko mala kom mo melian londo political kan the democratic backsliding the gradual erosion to autocracy ako wulu because ya même fo no comme masakundal mel yalon ko be tunkun sawun kono e kam ko man transition simfa dal bije ni multa ka institutional londi ya bambang ka masakundal bundal fasa ka luwa kendol nati ka security bambande aka mewulu wala mbota damen ka murujel wala democratic backsliding de adun ni mo moti melon ko e kamira e ka banko la maral nyaay ka korosi e kal no ko nyum banko na democracy nying abe muru kan komal because nga mel hamen 2016 man tarol jeka hannim ba jekan abe dasaring ni tara man sakundala loud la e kaje molla nyanto abe dasari in every aspect jata kendalom bang karanom bang samasenolom bang security lombang ya jube e kal no ko molla banko nyanda ka nyanto men soto because amanke privilege kaje ko be mol so kan na sa ni munna right let yo so ne democracy jube in that context inada understand e kalno ko nyim banko la democracy be muru kan ko male in my opinion ku jamale keda me alon ko fana isa manso kundani upload they have done some remarkable things mel yalon ko reform process ol mel bekeka yo bari democracy mu continuous process la fotara ayri wande kanne wato wate wala na manso kunda karal loring pour kaje ko banko la loi e tankat wala na biringa na diamo damu da nga constitutional force because constitutional banko niwote to me because no governance understand e kal noko because na yanyantol mel bembe foka education health agriculture ibe boran mental constitutional wala na it is the supreme law of the land wala na biring nim draft ni ya bay banda ya burka ika ini sunu tabak nde because then there ngamira nga karan fo nga ban sinya fula fo saba me ni lamay jibe kal no ko nyinnom constitution de birin Gambia ya fan soto constitution me alon ko it is highly consultative ita rabdulal to le kamol kachande bantabal to marcel to ifinita banta pour ne Gambia no le kacha o be hammo menti wolam kanyum banko kala al halo falling abe stilo mi kan kesila kendate so fonga kuol falling nga banko ni londe silo ka me alon ko abe taram mobile na fala kan bara manke mo dantan na betarre je mel yalon go betarre muna fanna do bal mel be santol to be samasenol tichal doctorol mel yalon go be do kula it wal kata bay o manke constitution la hamote wala na ne 1997 constitution o jube ya sepun pruka ya jambe ka tutu sambota so nina da in 2024 reintroduce or Barrow's papers as some will call it if ankal no ko lafta constitution o si dal dro ya be kuntun dro del metal favor lafto impose lanam banku deun kan marlo muka ko nyama so ne banko la alhalo jibe bi na constitution o na democracy what we are experiencing is a gradual reversion to autocracy and that is a huge concern ni mumode me alongo e ka bambia alhalo nyenge ka korosi yeah
good abarka bake Mr. Camara fenjama lema andi ya flan korosi wala nga understand ul mintiko na safro go Gambia's democracy is not at matured but sajin no committees backsliding as ya mention nyameng because fenjama le jomna ko yi kontile kaje ko bankola democracy te lonola ayatara wolbe mankirin abewul kono constitutional reform abewul kono security but saying just nga luñum floto ning memory kana ko tenke ning natanko bankola security force law kono quote unquote yena ko bankola constitutional for constitutional reform seke o pro ngaje ko molier democracy tunya masolo sota menna wala ni ya amesone kaje ko 2016 ila coalition yimbe la fionne kono ila hamin ko le kono kaje ko sota menna ntol Gambianol wala as coalition pour ka jamme bonni wala mu nyindi ko killing nin na constitutional reform kelale because ngalon ko maral jaho nin kaje ko jambe maral jaho le ke akilu wamen the same baroni wulu akilu be continue ka or still za fo no ko Gambia be no stage mento wala ngani question nyininka ne baji kan ko Gambia be damenta bo la kilingol badi jambe ben samba kan luamen na baro ben samba kan luwa kilingol ikaji ko da baro la marlo nyin ko do ani mo jamale do ko kemen yalon ko bi gamelol be wur kawol lele be tol fogon labi rembe ko His Excellency Hussein Dabo ikaji ko ay do ko baro la masakunda ko wari dandang but still ikaji ko amin ke be hamin ko ikaji ko constitutional reform nyin ayke because ning ibele fringala I hope ko is silol sotol me yalon ko se asambano secondly ndola banko la security currently amandar Gambia bulu so Gambia la Senegal ji ma fangol bela ni la uniform na state house na dula maldo way Gambia sundo mol tenkundi bankaje ko men these people are protecting us wallanto di Gambia bo ji kan as a violence
to me comme Senegalian de la sovereignty attack ever since womange beautiful because foreign forces all melialong will kada presently it's the highest office of the land state house ngamira Gambia la kulobe be state house tenden nigbaro man tanka drone to me ndafa man tanka because they indirectly neo battlable you understand and he's my legitimate target ni ajibe so ninada commitment for security to me Gambia security abe nasir mbake and na sovereignty ni abe compromise rin na kenda ke fanande because 2016 mune Senegal ni ECOWAS dundi nam banko kan because of political impasse membe kan understand Gambia was in a state of political uncertainty malom bita dang coalition government men nata kuolbe ibe dunni ko bebe jakasire ya jambe balanda sirant yakade bola yo way ECOWAS ning Senegal fenge pour dunnam banko kan yo bar mistake ko keta dameng hanne wol dunta nam banko kan yalo mo isinyo wala kelon adun del yal no ko Senegal meta Gambia la security na security military capacity nying e mera tasla la ka jube yana zanna na military might nyimbe nyadila do we have that capacity military wise to withstand Senegal e medo trial la comme ya jambe la bravado la manala fongo ego nying akaloka Gambia fenge yana zanna but since 2016 kana be Gambia security sector jube eka jikilate because police all fara the police station to jang after nga mo ko itara ye police station o attack kunku jang banko me alon ke la security institution of fan attack o security be jamal protect no so Gambia internal security problem la soto number 1 that alone of a crisis la. You understand? In 2016, Senegal se bunnan nole. Ya bare ninda ni te musinyoti. Nda bunda problem okono. Ni na ram mako e. Nse bandi non na cabineto na salo lo kono bare ke samba na cabineto do. O mole ko sa mbem fande nyitar kela ga sa mvelandi. Ya na sanna ilafta men na yakenna. Senegal la security be presenting in State House. Banko me alongo al kabra kondal mu sovereign nation nata. Sometimes they can ngam fanyinenka. Do we really understand sovereignty? What it means, sovereign? Because the concept of sovereignty afanuta back. You understand? But niajibe in the context of security. ECOWAS bijanka how many years? From 2016 to be.
It's just like 10 years.
For 10 years.
Yeah.
So the government mun security sector reform to ensure that ECOWAS yebonyum bankoka
To disarm our military.
to disarm our military. Wala na bring Senegal soldier na the border adunia jibe fa emahanda adlado de but our own military structure it had a yola demolish. You understand? In the presence of our security forces, our military forces, they were just standing there as mere bystanders or spectators doing nothing. And I cannot blame them because if I am disarmed, what can I do? You understand? Because now the role of the security, especially the military, is to protect from any form of external attack. So those people, they were standing there in the midst of acts of aggression from the foreign forces, but they lack that military capacity to repel. You understand? So Walana, Senegal haita Gambia nyabak. Isina emai sai ibe famasol baran de kanjala.
Even here.
Kiang. Iraji afo ko no jamanka yadi jamusa mome ala kenafi. Boba dingo ataka balu janna kabrin sanji kemenin fenkoma lunkilen drong edena ya fo ko no jamanke Gambia tati e be fofo ke kanje alande atel ko you are sovereign nina da mansa kunala communicate jube ye me release ike fanyinin kala kom fanyil fanya do they know what actually happened? Senegal na they reply with high sounding statement kaje go ya menke man ni masa kuena because neo la ris fongo read e kan no ko Senegal ya menke hani sama naka de bakela adu Senegal ning Gambia de labadia be nyamen it is so close to the point that President Barrow as a phone call funo chikano la President Jomai Faye call in Senegal, let them have this sorted out. But what bega menyitandi how fragile our security is. Na security be nyimbanko ka security kata nyimbanko kan moto police station o e kata nyimbanko kan moto tije they are not armed fentije well be police station wala fa protect no la ban ni ko be attack la e me gang wala kana police station o attack nyimbanko kan ngaji janne kungu jam fa man kije you understand? So wala neighborhood nyimfa police station o membodo o kordal melbo la surrounding will more protect no fa will be community jomala protect no simply because they need that capacity to do their work effectively in accordance with the constitution. Wala nandam ka police wol hanni be blame la sa danne because ne fanji al halo kono dami alongo ahamo be la pour ka kuke bar sembotela eko de ndiata kuto e bartetal. You understand? So Gambia security bo situation la kono but tenden Gambia la sovereignty ya mortgage la to Senegal ni memmo long isalon kabrimbi because banko me alonko adebe in charge la security la ite bo banko bulle whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
and security damban nafa. Look at our energy.
Yeah.
Kuran ka bona minto. Kotu Birkama Base emukahanol fanfo. Adi yemfo ne nawek la fonko dibe ko Gambia pour nga energy sovereignty soto nyum banko ka pour ngam fansin ne Kurana. Amantambi, I don't think it is more than 50 watts. Kabrin 1965 kana bi. Atel kal fan kumande gondal mu independent nation. Ngam fan na soto. Independent tambida national anthem la national flag. Atambida wala. It is beyond that. Flag independence wo man kumaya. Are you economically independent? That is the question. Because economy, it is this powerhouse of the development of a country. So, and Bangola economy to develop in absence of energy and security.
Energy will give attraction to business merchants to come in and invest.
Exactly. So, Nanyum Bangola al-Halo Bejibe. Wala na binung kurang katanu. Criminal will find use as an opportunity. You understand? Because people are kept in a constant state of limbo. Ikataye more attack and yade nyame ye QTV la suma so na si attack ala so fanko more be fenga because energy connection bell bi fam fanye courant mo ka contribute dame nyum banko ka nda labalwo even security wise. So wala na ne banko la security jibe Senegal. For me, I call it provincial Senegal, Gambia. Honestly, last time, no more than in Kajalan, Konal Malong, you should know it. Baro, I see him as a governor.
The vice governor, right?
You understand? Because Nanyim Banko Jube, well, Nayal Fankuman, the sovereign nation, would dental biggie, Moma for alter energy outsource la. Even advanced democracy. America ka energy outsource from neighboring countries like Canada.
Not only energy, they
you understand? But what exactly? But what can mean that no let's say Adelka Kiam Memfo. Sade dol bije ni meke wala fenso dol bije wol be Senegal wol be nani wala. You understand? So wol dunna powerhouse kabo let's say for jara soma. Nyamre wisdom and common sense nyanda nyitan la government nako. Instead mbabon la for jara soma nebo Senegal member bala ni agreement okay pour yen nañu more supply. That doesn't mean that you both justify la yaje ko even advanced or developed democracy or advanced countries will financial energy outsource. That's false equivalence because na electricity abumba be nya jibe 3/4 be ka bonan Senegal ran na birin nin kapa fongo soto woltata yinin ko di jamaata bombo fola Senelek nara be kuran kundu fo mandu wal crisis kono ilafta suka code la le nyaaw nyande nyama but molbe sofa kan on a daily basis, so it is not something is a suka code no nara no, it is something that cannot be felt most often, but ndal felen dimbi we are sweating because kuran soro model bije wal is life support level wal be leftano rebe laring Quran call samba birkama leptano do nin Quran data nkajele medical practitioner melbije they have to use their phone in order to attend to patients in a country that you claim to be sovereign. You understand? So to me Gambia's security is mortgage. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kamara. Ako akabaro jele as Jomai la governor. Good. To Mr. Hise. No question of that diamento. It will be a quotation from Mr. Kamara la statement. I mean the wala diamu mi anko ngemwe. Abo kono follow from being kalamen are we a sovereign nation? Wala isa fo mo le follow what is sovereignty? Flanyo na mo what are we a sovereign nation? Because banko me along kon na security be external forces o lebulo kono na soldier ni disarm e kan na bolal attack de nyame without any diplomatic way o kaje ko men be me woli use ka pour ka ko sol pour kaje ko symbol be matu ngake. You will see even some TikTokers from Senegal e ga fo nal mu banko da aluli ngakele So, will you consider the Gambia as a sovereign nation?
Yes, Omar, this is a very important question. Come di Miami, Gambia's sovereignty is, highly questionable. Yeah, because if you know the meaning of sovereignty, you know, I feel like our politicians, they do things, at their own will. They do it, like with mate, you can mate like a drum, but they understand this more than you and I and my, son right here, Fancho. You understand? It only you understand beauty. You understand? Because maningol kamen falan. Longulo, wala demo diaro umaru. Senegal, like he said, near Tarako, Jambele Bijanghani B, they feel like he came to power through coup d'etat or overthrowing, certain things will not happen because they feel like, once a soldier is always a soldier. You understand? And his ammunitions are hiding from them. You understand? That will terrify them. They will not have that 100% confident to do certain things to the Gambia. You understand? But in territorial integrity of the Gambia, currently we lost that. You understand? And you can for not only the aspect of our security personnel, member banko kang, member banko la tanko be men bul member ko police but ntol is across. It's across. One area from walale, that is immigration. Look at the immigration system of this country. A sovereign nation, Gambians are unable to, have access to their national documents. You go outside, documented people out there. Huh? When the citizens who are residing in their country could not even have those documents. What kind of country are we? Let us question ourselves as a country. I just said this morning to my students, Gambia is not a country. It's just a city-state. Gambia is not qualified to be a country. No. Looking at the magnitude and the level of other countries, and you look at our size and our population, Dakar is, almost like, 3 million above. Gambia is not of the 3 million. Is Dakar not a city? That's why I said Gambia is just a city-state. The whole Gambia, Kiang, Jara, Badibu, URR, CRR, we can all fit here in Combo. If the infrastructure is well established, we can fit here in Combo, and it will just be a city. Therefore, we are going to be a city-state. You understand? But these are the thinking of technocrats, citizens who can think rationally, are able to evaluate things that might come in the future. But this is not the way our government and its officials are thinking. We understand. So the sovereignty of this country is at stake. Another point, you go to the border. Our borders are not controlled. Look at the level of immigration of this country. Omar moja la kadun Gambia without documented. Our personnels in charge of the immigration system, are they here just to check those people whether they are documented or not? Can you know?
But here, are we going to blame our
immigration?
Or we blame the government?
Because Omar, this is simple logic. As he said, it's an immigration blame la no wala. Fanso. Yes, system and this government is because of their corruption up to the core, they are not labeled for the advancement. They are not ready for the advancement. These people, even this digitalization that we are talking about, at some level, digitalization is not at certain level, but yes. But look at the digitalization of some of the things that we are even talking about here. You understand? You look at it, you feel otherwise. We were verified last year, teachers. We were verified last year, and we were verified again. What does that tell you? Verification is not in the system because having been a system you will not be verified again. And I am telling you this: next year by this time, if I am not somewhere else, I am here. I'm verified. That verification, Omar, this digital wall anata pulka system le control so nita mala fila system le control ibe nyim bailale these digital devices you will throw them away you just use it as a formality
so even for community no killing on the hand side
men no killing the omar mbokata adulato you understand ajibe janne kalun tamaje in fact I could not even understand that Gambian citizens are not that valuable compared to Luntangol. Gambia le kaje citizen ota ya ay banku do ngota ya selendi Gambia dingo fonka. Fataro to an extent that ikabala firingul ning kudo ka je kan ning Senegal men fata. Senegal be level ora be kuba kutal kalantala ja me alon tata hanila kake mola Senegal. You understand?
Yeah, so need still they blame in the baby di kam sakundala because maybe
Omar ndem fonka ning foite nka blame be di man sakundala. You understand? But one thing no understand ni masakunda la kuoto. Amanke bika ni moyle comme même foye. Ni masakunda ni ka diamu ye ka they feel like you are opposition. Wala ka diamu ye ka me ka man ngol ka me ka jio so miram bumbulo la kam. It become a fereng. They are not there to listen. They are deaf to the opinion of the citizens. You understand? You don't question me about something which is democracy and I will come to that. If I am to that, I will tell you a lot of things that are in place in the Gambia, which is in accordance with not in accordance with the constitution. Gambia, the way it is going, nothing is promising in this country. The future of this country is at stake. But whenever you want to talk about the, national interest, people term you as a politician. They politicize everything of this country. We are the Gambians. You have no other country. Why somebody, our brother, your uncle, my uncle, somebody else from US, when coming to the Gambia, you feel like, you're going to have something. You feel, very, very comfortable. You have that joy with yourself that I'm going to the Gambia. Can you compare America to here? But it is simply because here is your home. Home can never be changed to something else, no matter, how there is. You understand? So the level of this country, the security level, you cannot blame the personnel. I only blame the personnel when it comes to certain things that they apply upon their fellow citizens. Yes, you, my brother, wearing police intervention or PIU uniform doesn't mean that you should do anything to me. Some of the commands that you think are not in line with your job function, you can refuse to search. After all, what are they going to do to you?
Nothing matters.
You just march away from certain things. But why should they also, apply certain things to their fellow citizens when they know that, those kind of, actions or activities are unlawful? But when it comes to the security and some of the vulnerability of the security generally, I don't blame the personnel for that. You blame the government. Like Ninka these were the promise. I was not young in 2016. These are the things that they promised us about. Security sector reform, civil service reform, this reform. And which sector in the Gambia is being reformed from 2016 to now? Which sector? Do you recall any? Let us talk about it. We are not saying that they have not done anything, but this reform, security sector reform, civil service reform, are they done? If the civil service reform is done and still, annually you are being very fine teachers, what have you, reform about the civil service? So these are basic things that we want our governments to improve on, but they are not there to listen. Whenever you are talking about these things, they give you a deaf ear. And I think it is the high time for us to come up. Well, Gambia is not a small, though it's a small country, but it's not a younger country anymore. Look at our independence, so-called independence, because Gambia independent in 1965. Why? Because in 1965, if you know about the history of this country, in total 1965, 1970, they don't even understand that.
It was partially independent.
It was partially when our financial and major
independence can never be partial.
And our major decision makings were then in the hands of the British partials.
But that's
even in those days.
But still, we are not making any decision by our own self.
Yes, Omar. That independence is still what we are talking about, and we are on the same trend still. You understand? Looking at our independence.
Will you agree on that?
Listen.
But still question our independence.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah. To a greater extent.
Omar.
Seriously.
Omar.
Yeah.
Omar. An independent country, like we said, you can depend on other countries about certain things, but not all perspectives. You know, you look at the nature of this country. Hani ñin sokatera ko wala fodino hani ñin sokatera ye ñin sokatera company lo jaminto la Gambia. These are basic things that we can do here. But you are importing everything. Then chatuma nonka question ko, you know, mama nyola balunya mena official on toltat. Because Solomon dal Qur'an, you know, mama casino la you know, hot house or kono, la nyantam bon kono, Qur'an te jaka comfortable, you know, a casino. But beat an Qur'an te jebe casino no. You understand? Wakala fatar den de ko dano la kadu. But binita man den de ko soto, itita mar soto wala ni ba sana fana. Ibita sere kondale, you know, yaba ngono, you know, faram farande on the also. You understand? You know, will killing Cameroon, will den de call, you know, atodo. O brand from atodo. Jufre kamendra ya nteta osanno. You understand? Dobeje wota osanno. You understand? And everybody, into society, if you can take yourself back to the history, you feel like it is like classless society. Everybody was at the same level. Omar nyantam wala ya nyantam bunga balia. Mbeka domor sifa kilomadom. You know? And so on. That uniformity was there in between them. But look at our, you know, society today. We are a society with class. Have you seen the son of a minister or a daughter of a minister in a public school in this country?
No.
In the school, I'm teaching at a public school. Amantaraji. It's like a special institutional lesson. They are not in the mixture of our you know, poor children. You understand? And the idea is that more than safe holding like a caron, well and mansaltino. More than mansal doing like a caron, current killing. After Nintuba Karanafana killing, and yet a current caram killing. But this is not what is happening here in this countryside. You know, sometimes near for at certain level, you feel like, you know, because no one day, you know, my vulnerability will be exposed. You understand? So there are so many things that this government needs to, you know, improve on, you know, but they are not ready for that. They are not ready for that, I don't think. Because you talk about all of this, after all, you know, you see the alliance coming, you know, coming in to attack you about things that you have been said, you know, they know that this is the bitter truth about this country. You understand? So with the, you know, young people, we have a very long way to go. And this is a country that can never be rescued by anybody else other than us. So let us tighten our belt. We come on our new, you know, initiatives, you know, innovative ideas, you know, we put our heads together in order for this country to go forward. This is the only way out. This is the only way out. But, you know, when it comes to that too, you know, I feel very bad when I talk about the young people's Omar. You know, as somebody, how young I am, how energetic I am, the same thing applies on fans to you, somebody else. Those young people are the very people that you see, you know, being in support of things that you know are unlawful, are unconstitutional, are illegal in this country. Do you think this country can go? People don't want to change their attitudes. You understand? More especially the people. You've been to school, you know, from, you know, primary school to, you know, senior secondary school, from senior school to college, from college to university. Still, that changes could not impact in you as an educated individual. You know, they want to drag you, taking you to anywhere they feel like. You are educated in order to evaluate what is good, what is not good for today and tomorrow and for the future. But if you could not evaluate all of this, what is the essence of your education? You know, this is what I always question people. Sometimes, you know, our forefathers are intelligent more than us. You know, being to school and being educated is also different. People don't understand this. Hey, mama be sitting here and I say, "Can we educate today?" Because young nigga fan an account or mandika account or bafle na share. But be more kata takan school. Can you basic things about this country? Student not the karamora senior school. Student in different part of this country, institution or college, they don't know how many regions we have in this country. Citizens.
Who is our vice president?
They don't know. So in that regard too, you sometimes question our level of civic education, which is already in the schooling system, but I believe sometimes it is at a wrong place. At a wrong place. They could not understand. Our school-going children should be educated enough about our social activities, regional, and the stuff like that, but they could not know all of that. Whilst the person is going to school. How many region? Dolga for 7. We can't know class for 7 region. They don't know. National Council for Civic Education, I also question their work sometimes. What is the work that they are doing? Hadn't been there even working, even during our elections, these invalid votes should not be that many as it is. But citizens don't know how a voting test should be. How should we vote? You understand? So in the Gambia we are in today, it's having a very long way to go. We have a lot to improve on. Otherwise, instead of stepping forward, we will step backward. And this is what is happening in this country. Hey, electricity is a basic necessity, and it is something that cannot be compromised in a country. Like you said, this electricity will give attraction to business, serious businessmen, women, merchants to come and invest. What if the electricity of this country is at risk? It could not sustain. Talk less of the industrialization. Electricity numbers have continuously, constantly. Do you think over industrialization will sustain la knowledge? It could not. And what are the solutions to this? When they are over there at radio stations, televisions, they could not even tell you something that you can digest.
I even have a question on that. So, Ninko Barol administration of Mantra, so, do you see any political party, many along they are vying for position in this election coming 2026? Many along with the Jigako, will say money no imbracono.
I'm regarded to that. Can city la form along in Badanga for when I'm a Mandika counter. Because near Tarako, Kankuran City along Kankan Payala Muruba Diala, Jumalti. Don't mean Adam Barrow will not be in this position. Because but will you say Barrow is not working? Let me come in, Amar.
No, yeah, Barrow will not be in this position.
Amar long Incanena, Kana Coranto, Elamoy. Fanso, man of fire, Kankuran Kona action dol kala. Nima City for a bandi Muruba Diala, because Asketam from Casita can little bit. And Nunkani member for electricity insufficiency and other basic needs that wala insufficiency in this country. Who is it affecting? Is it not the Gambians?
Not all Gambians.
Not all the Gambians, but Omar, majority of the Gambians. Omar, let me come in. Omar, how many ministers do you have in this country?
Yeah, few.
How many electorates do you have in this country?
Many.
That's why I said, because majority carries the vote.
No, but
majority of the Gambians are suffering.
In this aspect here, Ninko mobile be but high faker. Yes, for example,
Niko Bajate Mafo GTJ. Niko Bajate Mafo GTJ. India jibe minister mudantan nati Gambia population on any electorate sol kono. Come file Kankuran City la fanga malong. O minister dolbeji. Wali bang Adama Barrow tole in 2016. Yeah, understand. Atele na be ayeka minister. But nta mama ni ta mama, mfama ni fama. And mbinki ndokoma nkotoma wala carte fay Adama Barrow nata. You understand? Kudol bala man sakunda bi man laf wala bari ta bond la noje because ya prepare le fa pareta. They give him that mandate. And I budget 2016 to 2021 another about 2021 to this other one because that is a constitutional mandate I mentioned. You understand? But abe kulle ke kan tol fauna because ngai member ngobe Gambia wala batani kan kuranta ya anin jinta ya obe wala batuka batandika and wala Barrow la man sakunda establish. You understand? They will regret like a vote Barrow. Ni wol ya lon ko nyine be kala no. They will not vote for Barrow. No. yes safono adama baro dal alaman sakunda men dasata wala siata dining ay men topato ya nga sawen pour na solo le topato bara na solo men topato Omar
you are still analyzing baro jarta fa man jara
Omar adama baro aman jari president sela for this country because looking at the development of this country
mo ba fo kande ko baro la kiyang west develop sky mono dia la ko dia that's what people are saying
Omar if near for am I wrong yes barole was silo ni natale through barola time during barola time you understand kurang no kane ni ko mona Omar fa afirimoya understand no lo kane
that's wrong
no another mfan solo lo kane let us good
but I'm asking questions
lo Omar am I understand you have to give me time to come in
okay I give you 2 minutes
Omar okay Omar in order way ba fala barole silo dina why anata la erale in order way ba fala baro man silo dina my people have been paying tax ntama makore ba njay ko ndate odola understand so ndala kore ni so ni sibe jankana mo jole korda na sade kona kana mo jole we have been doing that since the time of the British up to now you understand nana ma benefit soto so nyin silo baro anata la wato la bara ko do man bala jifi kono ala jifo kono Gambianol kamenke adama baro man tara woke kan tole Omar what kurabo kamanki baro kunto baro di wala karam bon tole kajo let me come in
because
let me come in
jawara yaldina ya wadia jatela aldina madia nimbaro ya dialla so
we thank
no that's I think that's a wrong justification because
demand la nyunko dia tanya baka ila nyunko
yeah because ni ajibe kafugo jawara make ya jambe make o makin nande ne baro yake nyanda fala ko comme baro comme nyanto la kala comme jawara nyanda kala nyame
ayenta men kala ay wolete so then let me talk
Omar you buy a bag of rice for your family should you be praised of that
of course ni ay ni ma
baro for that
no, there's a difference.
I mean, the people of Kiawe
Katantu and Kajo Katala Nati. I think there's a slight difference.
Okay.
You understand? Nyando Jubela. Committee, you sort. You understand? Edele do you see dunia alata kola. Yele responsibility lom code I karang I jata kenda soro I balu kendo soro. So niti okay. Amanje ko mo nyanda nalanga tantan kumandenga bulo ko siede. What the new man no kala. As a attempt to it, that's fine. But you are doing your parental responsibility. Man, I understand. So let's assume that come ngajo ko ya jambe la man sekunda ngal no ko mo fasiata ye moli ye mande har ma dunda nyanto tinyara na fulo kasar you understand but nembaro mo ke bi fo la nyanda ki nan nga foko ya jambe menke afana amanya no kala luara karwa
ba fala ko baro na fulo tan kandi min jambe na fulo tinya baro ma baro na fulo tan kandi
na fulo.
No, but still more
that takes us back to the same point that wrong. We're more the point to mendoram ko baro ala gon new development will not roll. That is for more attentu. And it's not something compulsory. I personally, I don't think that be masakunda me more tentula. You understand? Because it may not go like a
contract di contractor la ila bungolo guys 6 months ngana dugu fire banganyata. So will it be a crime in Kamari way a baraka edu gënal way ci ya jol already.
That's fine more like
same thing more for gang.
But no does that mean
let me conclude this dialogue please. Oma very constructive example sort of from it.
Okay.
Oma baro me ka fateng baro kabra ka campaign ka ke mo la selo la kam fa ke mo selo taraji baro ala korba bamba kurama bejelo no fa le kurama dundiji ngambra mo la dundaji good ikaw men fo na mel be tamadula jang ni kordal lo anyata you understand ya di contractor aya lo fa pareta ni mo na da pour que la kordal lo fo do kuoning e kola foko di bonno ni kola ani ga yalla ko def fansu manka mason ti bu ka bonlo bar fo ga fo la ñu do ko ñi ñaat so do ko ñi ñaat jumaale bu do ko la ita même tam do ko ñi so citizen la woti ntol la ñan dokal because ntol la ko do ñun ko wala fang ñun ko wala use e ka do ko kala e ka do ko do na mam bola jifu kono we thank them for that na dia before you understand and no for Gambia no one thing understand down fanso ma one thing understand Gambia down is about what we do for this, authorities from Barrow down to the last level. Neo Fanfa Kanfale, no, you can chief servant at Kanfala. And to be honest, he is our chief servant. Barrow is my boss.
No, constitution only.
Good, don't need more for. But chief servant, Barrow is our chief servant because he is serving the general public of this country. You understand? So, member them function can I mean for you? More ma understand ko Adama Barrow be akabula moto men antola ka sangay. Nama moto do sanga fango ya wara moto do ta ayo bondi bla do to damen in slow man ta so moto ma nyala bula ntole ka sanga ntole nyanta sanai ya understand akela dana Omar Lo ntole provider aka sinfano men do ntole ko dial adu wala karambu ntole ko dial you understand so what we do for Barrow ko baka kuntu Barrow kunto Barrow la famena ko le dom hana tamata ka tan mission of ka jole Barrow is not doing for anything for free for this country.
I don't go Barrow in video jena
Omar, do you think that Namir will come and go Bena Bungalokono?
No, just to make it clear.
At the Fangalo, Nafana in cooking in the Kano, I am Mola Kumul Moy, Molia Kumul Moy, for Molia mix on a changes can come and fire. Come and model come and falling. Mambang Adamatoni Mansakunda, Mam Beto, Ike Kuangamba Wallet Omar. Ngamba ni mansakunda lo kane ngamba mansakunda ke ko ya ha
ko ning muri la num Barrow be kala nyinati no
ha
alte vote line in 2016
but you agree that elections have consequences.
Good, yes. Good,
Exactly. I will let it come. It's a more elect into office.
Amar, do you dispute that? Do you dispute that? Amar, okay, Fansu, go on.
Jomala for Abraham Lincoln. Ako nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. You and I, pre-2016, sometimes we don't know him. Do you?
No.
Exactly. But munaya kinda nendele Adam President Barrow. Because nga power nga sembo saban say nga authority la dia. You understand? Pura taman nakana na lafino arindalan munafa membendal jamana fala. You understand? So President Barrow man na yin se mansa dia fanna.
Good.
Gambia no le mansa yin biala. And one thing President Barrow nyanda me understand na ngamira Gambia no le men kae mala nyobe dunia nyim banko kan moti jang Gambia no le men ke President Barrow amote nyim banko kan yake me because ya wulu nyim banko kan mo million jolle be nyim banko kay jikitala jikomu kubal. I think it is one of the greatest achievement one could have. Understand that to be selected among equals, because more lebije one can say they are more competent than President Barrow.
Of course.
You understand that?
Uncountable people in this country.
But jikoni lano kubalem walan hadamadu nyanta principles in life. Yellow kukan. You understand? Ibelo yemem for be nimto nyalam sama wofo. Nibelo rin jambila nimto nyalam sama lo
You understand? In 2016, Fansu.
So
remember Barrow press kan nung Barrow mo kendol di na business okay abete only kana hoy Barrow bond la ka muli musudaro ko renge. So these things like if you for na diamo ko
ninga long bimbe ko ninga long dembi nu do te happen la
been tested ka mul nga tesle na do ko kele UDP abakle politika party jamala bakali be kam fo min ko Barrow nga tesla no ngalo ne
if you want to know the true color of somebody, give them leadership.
Okay, so now let's go to my question.
Oh yeah.
Yam the political party Jumal Beye in 2026 election no Canada, men say mun no
Amar
just in 2 minutes.
Amar political party all, ni nata wala karola. Ntaka men from wale. Let us evaluate. I have a very clear political view somebody's having a very clear political view, but Gambians need to orient themselves about politics because no one day nkabomen kono te nka mbirabula lo kili ona kono. You understand? Political party will member fenkering ndabe jikri men la ko nina da sembodo is a Chingis Kenole. That is the mighty UDP.
United Democratic Party?
Yes, United Democratic Party.
So,
Ntajikita wala la ko nina ta sembodo is a falindiro Kenol demanding.
Do you agree on that?
I don't think I have to agree or disagree with him. But
then to you,
this
coming election, okay,
what is clear? To me, what is clear? History and this has been confirmed by political scholars. Come ni lafta mansa wut la semboto me alonko especially mansa men na the true a united force ngalon na barona renyame ni lafta uproot la you understand from presidency you understand you need that united front and a unified a solidified political opposition party or coalition in order to uproot him from power. So my analysis of this whole coalition saga member of recent is party interests in party bebola jubeka.
Yeah, including UDP.
Including UDP. You understand? So let us not try na suka growth. Because Nadal be believed that President Adama Barrow is not the solution. You understand? And giving next 5 years to President Adama Barrow will be a disaster for this country. Albeit you all arrive at that conclusion uniformly. You understand? Alman Fadam Francis Road. Because muna naked opposition at the first place. Because you are not happy with the way the country is being governed. You understand? So you have a different pathway. You understand? So to me, candidate-led, party-led. I think those are the terms you can use. I don't think for now, party Gambia you don't imuka UDP imuka Unite imuka Fenje. You only see Gambia. I believe that oppositional they should put their differences aside. Coalitional ka build nyadile. If you look at the whole concept of coalition building, there are so many factors you can jube. Abol kono policy alignment. Probably it is a unite, the UDP. But unite la policy on education might be better than UDP.
Good.
So why not on the basis of that policy, not into coalition? But that jube la ko who should lead? Yeah, for me, right now, it should be more of agenda. You understand? Let me come.
No, I want to clarify something before you ask me.
You call them mighty UDP.
No,
yes.
I must have a question on that.
Of course.
Okay, let me just finish.
Before Fasu will even complete, I would like to question something now.
Okay.
You made mention of something that is about this alignment, right? Coalition. You are not being, you did not ask me about that. You said among the political parties. You understand? This is why.
No, I don't want to go into that.
Okay.
You understand?
So you cannot dive.
You
have to.
Yeah, no. For me,
from my answer, UDP is the only political party that is usually been next for the incumbent in this country since I was a child.
For that, let me tell you. For that, they might. Okay, for that, I disagree with you fundamentally on that.
Before you come,
UDP being the biggest opposition party by every standard since 1996 up to date. For me, number matters. Those are partisan politics issues. You understand? But for me, what I am more concerned about is the fate and the direction of this country. That is the only thing. I am concerned about the system. You understand?
I am also concerned about the system.
Probably
you are showing us kaje ko United Democratic Party wole mo parti me yalon ko defe ko se Gambia ondino ani ajube in 2016 me barodi molla mo United Democratic Party
Like how?
na eto le barodi molla
Like how?
ka coalition barodi parti jumaldo fanso
No, I don't think it will be right for you to say that.
Just answer this question.
That's why I said like how?
no.
I disagree.
He resigned from UDP.
From UDP.
From UDP.
Stop it.
He was a trainee.
And that is another reason why.
Then let me rephrase my question.
Okay, okay.
Then what was the party?
That is another. Let me come. Sorry.
You said he is a trainee of UDP.
So let
me comment, Fanso, please. Let me assure you about this too. He is a trainee of UDP, and that is true. But one of the function of political party is to train political leaders.
Good. So
that's fine.
Amanda staff ko la fa staff nyameng. Do you think on the brief la mentor la me alon ko wala ni mentor? Menti ngaje ko ala jikol to ala sambar nyaal jiko mantra mu nekk ji. Do you think ko me na jikila mo la ma mayate mentor? That's for you, Mr. Cesar.
Omar, nango fo ila mentor membe ka fata ngom na tubabo karanko wala. We go back to our social level. In Fanshu, we are all from a very dignified background. Ndala kebale ka wulu bakale, I understand. Din killing fula sabanani lulu men siata wati sometimes ibiga mo be ko kala no ko lafta kala nyame. Fo mo ka dinga wulu ata lafta ka nyame ngaman ka nyame. Who the family kon there is no single family in the Gambia here but the amaka woman kono jam me alon ko ba fala ko all the family members are on right trend dol be je wolke ko fayla to mala fi tara nyame tara nyame
so baro
you understand
baro be UDP kono wala nyam
baro an system woman not a system woman adopt after becoming a president. That is not the system from the UDP.
So okay,
that is not the system.
UDP, he was a good person. UDP,
in the UDP, being a member in the UDP, you have to be safeguard yourself with the constitution of the UDP.
Link on yourself, right?
You understand? That is it. What link?
Okay.
Yeah, and Janimbe Tambila, I'm even foka kaje ko baro border UDP, and that is why I have a problem with this party candidate led. You understand? Those who are advocating for candidate led, how so are they called? Momelia longo ebe candidate led quarter. A party-led quarter. How are you called if they assume the position of presidency because their argument is you will resign? I think that's what, if I could understand.
Yes.
If you are your party. Okay. What we mean, Baro abarana UDP. You understand? But ngaje loko Baro brabara UDP atara fansung party londe.
Good.
You understand? Just like it's away from UDP, like Mbenjeka in Senegal. You understand? So those advocating for party-led, well, how so are they? Come Nimentata has a coalition presidential candidate. We will not see the replica of Barrow, the replica of Jomai and Sonko. How so are they? That's a fundamental question. Well, I don't believe in this candidate-led, party-led. You understand? What we believe in, what I believe in is system-led. Come with your policy on education, on health, on agriculture. Probably policy on agriculture at a better level has compared to yours. You understand?
Yes.
So on the basis of that, not a coalition. So I want to see that kind of conversation.
Good.
You understand? So look at that. Then the conversation will be centered around national interest. Not partisan politics. You understand? So what I'm party candidate led, opposition will be overall to me, because this coalition negotiation is designed to fail.
Good.
It is as simple as that.
What is designed to fail?
Coalition negotiation of recent.
It's
Because I know, number one.
It's far away. It's possible.
No, but we have seen.
You know what? Even
No, we cannot discuss.
We have seen breakdown.
No, we cannot discuss election.
You know what causes that?
No, sorry. Let me go.
Okay.
You cannot discuss election without talking about the contemporary Gambian politics. You understand? That's a matter to be discussed, because near Jubilee right now, and at the heart of that is the coalition negotiation. You understand? Because I personally believe that a single opposition party cannot unseat Barrow. That's my argument. You understand? Because what we have seen, Nimange Barrow la first term. Barrow is heading to 15 years, third term. Why Gambian old man during Jawara's time, oppositional man Jawara defeat no through the ballot box? A long-standing president can only be uprooted from presidency through a unified opposition court. You understand? That is the you know. Well, I'm the near Jube, new oppositional. It's very sad to say, but partisan interest okay carry back.
That's one for me.
So it can all up to the point that it can national interest. Last time the Honorable Usain Dabo Lamoy about sometimes in coalition negotiation some coalition partners wala argument kakamendi ni mol winda position Jamal Sotla
and different attack kemendol mindiko ni UDP party lead coalition lead do matrako.
Exactly. So then who stands for Gambia?
No one.
That's the question. Like Comrade Madi coming for Uncle Madi. UDP mol sawuli law, UDP defend. Unite binale law. If NPP like that. But name Gambia defend. Gambia ma. Jamaica Gambia defend. And we claim to then what Gambians then to me then Gambia does not exist. Because Gambia truly exists for Gambians.
Good.
Then what we have seen is UDP members, NPP living in one geographical location we call Gambia. Because if Gambia truly exists like a sovereign nation, in advanced democracy, party coalition on the basis of policy alignment. Well, they don't care about it. Well, they don't want to know who you are as a president. The only thing they are concerned about is their economic and political, social and civic rights. You understand? Those are the things, because at the end of the day, what am the concern as a human, as a citizen of this country?
Most of them go Taliban Gambian, Taliban Songol. But UDP say no,
I
think that is not. You cannot base that on us. Yes,
sorry, let me come.
I give you a minute. Right?
Okay. Waga na political alhalo benyame ni ajibe ani ku
I give you a minute. Okay, I can give you one.
ani ku ka wara bake because mol ka fuda level do critical issue bi jela nyanda mel discourse la. You understand? Goal sideline. You understand? Now we restore to politics of castigation, personal attack. We make attempts to depersonalize each other. You understand? So, what are you saying? Exactly. Then, at the end of the day,
nobody.
At least they can take this country to the promised land. But Mindel Boljega on a daily basis, even you attack like come at some point, Gambia political can reduce to the level that it becomes a politics of personal attacks. More they don't care about they don't in fact discuss issues that are critical. Electric abanda.
Yes.
Okay, so Neo Bejibe, you can't know Gambia oppositional, they are not ready for change. That is the bottom line. Because if you are truly ready for change, this is not the approach Albanian mental. Mandar mo pin ka kaje ko blame kai independently. No, this is a collective oversight. You understand? From the all opposition party. Why should you go into coalition negotiation? And Adelbe, you claim to be you claim to be party that is in for national interest. You understand?
Let me ask you.
So at the end of the day,
No, I have to ask you.
you are not interested in national interest, but the other concern Kakamendi is how to advance the political agenda of your individual party.
What are the basis of these coalition talks that are ongoing within the Gambia right now? You've said something that is very important here. That is about the national interest or the policy base.
Okay.
There are this, among their criteria of selection. Do you hear any, policy base or whatsoever? In fact, people, withdrawing back from this coalition talk, it's something that is definitely doubtful. I'm talking to you here. I wish they can, make that coalition. We have a peaceful Gambia that we all desire. You understand? But that is not recent. You understand? So, are they, basically, did they base this on, agenda or policies?
Good. I think first why I'm venture into that. The Fremantle game along this coalition talk with Diam Kamena signed because even for the room of discussion follow more baby if I yene. Now same way I think the interview to ako ning coalition ko yidi 50 la at mantaraje. Nga Omar Malmo junior moyle ako party no kana juti party mo kana party je party ni ngole mate. You understand? So party bebe fa so ko mo live ga mo fra discussion house on follow ka diam follow be mu nekela ni mu nekela. Ni wonte comme fa so yaten tambini nyame. First thing in the
Omar, how sort are you? How sort are you? You said something concerning. How sort are you? Imam for the discussion level of the
Among for the game, Janika Flaji,
are you not arrival here? We don't just arrive at the door and we step back. No, we have to know what is in the building.
People are.
I don't understand that.
What you have to question is before the negotiation starts, Gambia political now public perception towards coalition building. You understand? What is the stand of UDP? People like Isafal, he will not coronate. I think he's not ready for coronation. And Yankuba to Idabo Kayako. Then if you are not ready to coronate, then this is the stance of the UDP. So what is clear?
The same thing.
To the negotiation table, it is already clear that this negotiation is specifically designed to fail.
Yeah.
Because remember, like I think ni ikala last programo. Ni ikala last programo juinga menkeja. The same thing me wole kaja kan no. Kan san. Because ngam fa no mo intiko. Ning ntolbe poli ndo bidiamo la saint ntol kebal damalo be fene discuss kan. Ning gali so ndey ning ka questionol banda mafli ne ko wobe dumale folo mam pari fenna woto. Ndo findin la mole bon ni ndeng ninka ndem mu UDP la nyaton ko dingo ko ndol parti pa ya ko nan ko UDP mali ndol mantara dunna wokono e pali diamu jana mama kande diam do diamu jana ayatara mon dum folo bon be diam kon interview le anu ndol ngamu dame so ko minal ko ba ko mo so de bayel ko manjara ko ten UDP ko itol modi itol nyaton kaya andum ito son nakaji ko mi ngata primary ning mo kibe winda waita so these are things we ko me dunga problem wala kon but Lamin wala Mr. Cisse nañu ka robe damento no wala mu indiko party juma li dijita men se Gambia sambano eko the mighty united democratic party even hanni other bloga command as the mighty united dictatorship party and so hanni bloga command wala ko Usain ay sangidan ndo ko masa kunda kono right ayo membe do ko masa kunda kono mune mu changi solti Usain yemen jekaje ko ñun ñande kala ni ngara be gamje non na falala mum ci ngi sem tol mako no mento wala munat ne ko ni UDP jigata ko UDP se Gambia bon no ñi mbata ko men kon ayatara
Omar, okay, thank you for this question.
Just 2 minutes, right?
Why I have said that, as I said, since 1996, UDP is the only political party that is next to the incumbent upon the arrival of the election result.
That is next to the
Incumbent. That is why I said, if there is a political party that can, impact changes in this country, it can be done. Because we all agree unanimously that there is no political party. There is no political party that beat them in election other than the incumbent.
We cannot call this as unanimous agreement. Never agree.
Okay, which election did another political party, exceed the amount of vote of the UDP? In which election? With all this, UDP Ninkombo happened in 1996. That time I was very young. From what can I say in Banco Dingo for UDP Malala put on the Banco Dial. Was ni ilatila, ko UDP Baji Kanyamenko, when you are to list support, could be winner. But from 1996 to 2026, or 2021, Najiko may UDP win no Gambian, because that's the call from the money, and that's what we believe, but namna evidence. Gamwele some UDP militant we can sunya but they personally malala because not malala mang any evidence ye me sondi ko ike sunyal. So don't ever menje kanjam ba me analyze no mindiko. United Democratic Party from 1996 to 2021 banku dingol kamen fo mindiko malala andung alte winol bang malala to kana banko di la samba because personally ndeka jere ko UDP tabidin barona 2016 UDP la mulbe system ko la membe ko ila Usain Daba fama Usaini place dan tamara barol system ko nole farola for vice presidency. But what are the achievements mbajiri ko Usaini menuke mensen jikindi kaje ko ninga na banko di ala banko samanola. Omar, yeah, man, for first question on come here, man, for you come agree. I want you to tell me, I question you about that, and I want you to clarify. From that 1996, you said then you were young, but upon you knowing yourself, how many times do you experience election in this country, and there was other political party that exceed UDP about the result?
Good. From 1996 to 2016, APRC like exit. From 2016,
that is the incumbent. I have made that very clear. You have made that very clear. I said political parties other than incumbent. This is what I have said.
But incumbent is a political party.
So you cannot look at my statement.
I just said opposition party.
Opposition party. So that is the same as other than the incumbent.
Well, that would have been incumbent. Just but that would have been better.
No, but that's even mean what are justifying or like UDP Jikobe because mata diam kam mola siale ja nga diam menna mo system mo tite men UDP bulu be ye jikini
let me come in. Those winners, if they do not emerge victorious or as winners, who do you think is going to win? It's going to be UDP, for example.
Talking about the numbers.
Numbers important very, very well in our election.
No, here I'm talking about the policies.
Okay. No, you didn't ask that.
What was my question?
No. That was not your question.
Let me reframe my question. In 2026 election no menkana, ite jikita party jumala me ya lonko isem bondino nyimbara kono be men kono tek. Me ya lonko barola administration bondi kamol. That simply stands ola minta men mindiko. Party me algo ni nata be system mo dira mola baro wanta men di kamol. This is what I ask.
I still maintain my position that I believe in UDP, yes. With their agendas.
So when
it comes to political party. But above the UDP, I agree. The best thing that Gambians should do is to come with the coalition and to check this government out.
Now you
say yes.
You do that policy you made at Kaji Kome, Nina Banku Maraka.
Omar, UDP
can you recall your leader Usain Dabo abenung leadership konole for almost I palas film maraje.
Omar, that is
foreign minister.
That is Usain Dabo. That is not UDP.
When we talk about UDP, who are we talking about?
You're talking about Usain Dabo. In different administration. That government, was it a UDP government?
Who
this government in 2016 to now? Is it a UDP government?
Who is your flag bearer?
It is not.
But who is your flag bearer?
It was Dabo of that flag. Who was our flag bearer?
No, it's Dabo who is your flag bearer, not who was your flag bearer.
Of course. Is that of course still our flag bearer?
Dabo stands apart from UDP as a political institution. To me,
good.
Like Barrow being the president, the presidency stands apart from the president.
From the president.
You understand? So for you, I think the question should have been, I'm not in that position to
go on. Yes.
Go for me, it should have been like, what is the policy, UDP's policy on education, on health, or can you please highlight a specific policy that UDP?
Okay. I'll give you guys assignment.
Before the policies, even before the policies.
In fact, this is something that I see as a reputation. It's going to be a reputation for both of you. But I know, as concerned citizens like you and Fansu, you must know, or you must be aware of the 5-point agendas of the UDP. And I will refer you back to that. If you do not know, go and read it. I will not have enough time to highlight that for you here. But I know they have a very clear goals and objectives for the Gambians.
So, but if you neko, it will recommend symbol ni bara ko UDP.
That's it.
So in that film, well, niko mute ko you must.
Of course.
What is their agenda on agriculture?
UDP, their agenda on agriculture is about, let me summarize it for you. It's about, sustainable sustenance of food sustenance. That is one of their agenda of agriculture.
Okay.
That's what it entails.
Okay.
So yes.
So how do you intend to achieve that?
How they intend to achieve that? Don't tell me how do I intend to achieve. I'm not the one who designed.
You are a supporter of UDP.
Yeah, that's
so of course. I never hide that. And I will never hide it. I am a supporter of UDP.
How do you mean UDP? That is, how do you intend to achieve that, to ensure that there's food self-sufficiency in this country when UDP government comes into power? Fansu
or Camera, your name is sometimes the problem.
Yeah, Camera.
Omar, yaro neko maningol kami ang banko men na commission ata foundable is always a problem. Fansu, the ratio of importation, whenever that exceeds ratio of the export is going to be a problem for the country. And when you look at the nature of our foods, ndolga mendongo bi, fen you mala beje me alonko aka grow janne. Akan tolfon akan tolfon si fen juma jang agricultural sector. Na domo fen ba manolde. Mano nga me import wala ka siya ba ka dinin ka men fen.
But Mr. Cisse.
You understand? UDP when they are in office, I assure you that agricultural sector reform will happen. Of course. I assure you that, Omar.
Oh, okay.
Now we talk about this next year or year after or any other time. When UDP is in place, agricultural reform will happen in this country and there's going to be food sufficiency. You understand? We have a fertile land in this country. Across the whole Gambia, it is whole fertile. And it is suitable for agriculture.
I hope I don't feel that being like I go.
Omar. Remember, Usain wasn't a president. Usain Dawo.
But I push him.
Let me not even say Usain. Let me say Baba.
Oh.
Yes, wow. I feel very bad when I call this man, Usain, because of his achievements for this country.
Usain?
Of course.
No, one day baje kan neko. Neba personally neba baje kan neko. Usain mantara bangkol Usain ba ko wale. I think now ko gen. Ni Usain bangkol go ni. Usain tilo laga ko coalition yalon ko UDP man ali. Mantara coalition ko.
That is his stand.
Kabin mediam plan 3 years jot na la non. Usain wultala diam ta ko.
Good. Yeah, very good point, Lamaja. No.
Sorry.
So, Fansu,
sorry.
Omar.
Sorry. In as much as Mol say UDP blame for what is happening, Nyanda understand na lafananko coalition building. Come mokana mone ne wala when it comes to numbers matters in election. You understand? And what we have seen of recent throughout Africa, well, mostly party new nakala. I'm not saying that wala nyanda kala, but menka can mbola foga. Come mostly party new nakala party baka. Edeni la mo keme. Ndene na mo nani. Ni nala mo lulu. You understand? Well, so then we don't expect. You understand? Come denite. And then that coalition discussional. Abe kole ala bake pro ni nala mo keme. Ndene na mo na edeni la lulu ndene na nani. Pro nga nyin lead.
But abe kole
let me
possible, right?
It's a possibility.
Okay.
You understand? It's a possibility. One thing you may understand. Ngana Usain Dabo Dambanjubi has an individual. Let's say Usain Dabo can agree, or UDP executive can agree to go into coalition, party-led, so-called party-led. You understand? But how confident are you that the support base of UDP will agree to that? Especially Biringaji, the Taliban Benshuda, and Alamol about a UDP. You understand? To me, politically, that is unrealistic. But Niajibe, UDP mostly, you understand, electoral politics and democracy. Ibal na loko kat jama opposition mel siara mola mo mel siara wala ka coalition jama lead. Muna number for President Barrow 2016. There a question. How could they have chosen Barrow over Halifa Sallah?
So individual.
You understand? Because of UDP fanana popularity. You understand? So we're going to make that by statistic, UDP is the biggest opposition party in this country since 1996 up to date. You understand? So I am not dispute that. You understand? I'm not in that position, Kafuko, no Nyanda Adla, but what is clear is throughout Africa, no coalition will be built, mostly coalition kafu noon wala ka kafu jamaga. Well, maybe that into coalition come, that takes me back to policy alignment. Because I don't think I'll be coalition okay for the sake of coalition. No. You understand? Because currently it is clear that it will be the Gambia we have is not the Gambia we deserve. It will be off. It be wula nyoti wala inola bitaka. You understand? So I don't think it will be unite. It will be UDP. Other parties, SFL. I don't like policy. Policy natty. Come to me, this would be a competition of ideas, policies. You are
very right.
You understand? So you know the policies on agriculture, on health, on education. It don't have money. You understand? On the same thematic areas. So it's all the way consensus and compromise bina. The life policy on education. Why not Nalia?
We change it today.
Yeah,
combine.
You understand? So it is on the basis of that policy alignment we will go into coalition.
Good.
That's my conclusion.
I gave you 30 seconds for closing for your closing remarks.
But there is a question that I want to answer.
No, we will.
Please, give me 2 or 1 minute to answer the question.
I gave you 40 seconds with your concluding remark together.
No, give me 2 minutes, please.
2 minutes, okay, 1 minute.
2 minutes, not 2 minutes, please. 2 minutes, I want to make this very clear. Fanso, I want to make this very clear. You and I, you believe in who you are, right? We all do that as human nature. You understand? And the same thing, you believe in political science than many other major areas. That is why you are majoring political science. You understand? People blaming Usain Dabo or Baba about, saying not going in for, 3 years. There is a reason behind it which we do not know, which people do not know, because I know it. You understand? Why? Dabo is one of the face of the judiciary system of this country. One of, yes. He's one of the constitutional lawyers that you have in this country. How are people going to see Dabo when Dabo is against in our constitution, saying that, people should go in for 3 years? This is one of the constructive and major reason why Dabo said that, people should forget about that 3 years. And that is true. To make people, make people that have that belief in you, you should be you should stand firmly on who you are. And that was a constitutional lawyer. He cannot fail our constitution saying that we go in for 3 years transition. You understand?
Can democracy operate on a dictatorial constitution?
Not actually. Not
so
actually.
Exactly. We agreed in 2016 that agreement.
Good.
You understand? There will be constitutional
Reform. Good.
Because 1997 constitution has been seriously butchered.
Good. We talk about the one also here.
Exactly. That is, it is on the basis of that, the coalition partners will go. Why we will come with a 3-year transition.
Good.
From there, good. So from there, then our governance system will settle. You understand that? To situate the country on a stronger foundation of good governance, human rights, democracy. Good. You understand? That was the agreement. That was the approach. You understand? So the agreement, that is a moral issue to me. Let me come. Okay. It's a moral issue. Good. Whether Melfindila 3 years job now, I think you understand probably the Findila. Because Barrow, he had that constitutional bargain. Constitutional core, 5 years. Constitutional preamble, it is the supreme law of the land. Good. Any law that goes in contravention with the constitution will be declared null and void. Good. You understand? Good. But what is clear is the 1997 constitution is not fit for purpose. Good. You understand? When coalition 2016 came with this strategy, we will have a 3-year transition wherein the Banco was settled on a level playing political field, where multi-party political context will take place. Then Banco our governance system will start. That is about the coalition 2016. Their principles and maybe their moral values or their promises. You understand? But do you want to tell me that can undermine our constitution? No, it should not. It's a moral issue. Good. It's good. So tell people to stop blaming Dabo for this. I'm not focusing on that. Okay. Thank you so much. Mbal kontona bake Jiber Lalu. Yes, kumol ni membete ada yang wol bota alale buru ni mel tinyata wol munna hadamadi ya na solti kabon ni nanina kachanyol be na rajane pour nyim banko e kana manin ko la ko le ni kana te tanyo man kana hane sa man kana. You understand? Nyim banko mun tolle tar mota nyim banko de dalan tolle fanga wuli ngade da. You understand? So mbemol be encourage la mbe take part about mbe parta na banku do ko kono nimu kulere me alonko nkana mfanja nganja mfanja ni political la also ani mol kela kuma dol men fay kafo political nyawtal wala political man civilized or whatsoever. You understand? Because this is the only system that can change the direction of this country. Let us come together. We are disagreeing today, but when things fall on right track, we are the very people who are going to smile together here. You understand? So mbemol be tendula signal nkachanyol mbal fana kontona more especially ndima mfansu ning ndoma Omar nkontant baake kana nyim platform oto jiber lal mbal fana be kontona alna Allah hakil nyimala comment sol anin kudol yala ala baraka bawa baake alma ala ndema lafta gambe men ngo soto alma maral nya kurungol maral la kurungol aning maral men mambeta alma alain tanka wala nyim banko kan ngani yote momo la kanyim banko futandi level to lafta fata dame wala level to membe dunia be alma ite bonde la maral la kafo kono ala ite jenkendi mansuro mo la you look at the other parts of the country akakini ku abality calling yourself a Gambian it's so sad. Thank you guys very very much. Kwangu TV mbal kontona baba bake pour kam found nyim platform once again. Thank you so much. I wish to be back here again to discuss a very meaningful topic here. Thank you, guys. Omar.
Good. Thank you so much, our brother Lamin, Mr. Cisse. To you, Fansu.
And this is phone Kongu TV. Albelore menga wolam silo. Because governance, I fanna jamal lasuto. I'll believe that this is the way. Ndal bitayin nala to contribute to national development. So albemena wolam tonyati wolam silodi adu wala nyanta kala fana and menyati linkan karte fayola to me me yamaro mendila mol melben jubeka ni bida karte faykan ibida kan karte faykan courant jada kende domoro ila karan idiun na sinin sama ibida kan karte faykan wala kan so imandar ta kan karte faykan mo kare kafo because wolam party kar la nyaton kote na miro nyanta tambilo wala ndeka concern men na wolam ite bendela balunya e ba falin no la nyadila ngawna Gambia politiko ka janyanda move la light all level to sign meda wurol moy la le politician ol be ñu nen la e da man do sen na ñola ay kam même phase sama wetalo la dot ye même fo bi completely ye même fo kunu ya dis on mo be je ñim banko ka so ndel mel mo carte faylal alon ko ita bita kan carte o même fay kan ngamre nyanta because nabo Omar Sanyang ako nyanda terminology ñim falina carte fayo is wrong carte carfo ñing e be men carfa kan you understand e kan men carfa alon ko e ba carfa la mo memma
Revolutionist?
yeah revolution so e ba carfa la memma alon ko e ba a carfa mo me alon ko abela jata kende aba ko tobotola e din nakaran jata e la domoro anu ko ku me alon ko asa balu kendo ni balu nyimma ditala pour bi sinin sama ani la jamano mel bina mel mawulu fa isa nyim bango me alon ko mandabe bangolo mdokolo fo me alon ko ndal yaketa ngana o tika ngodi ndewna anen ndewon mel bina kan sinin sama wala message tende samandi.
Thank you so much.
Good. Thank you so much, Mr. Kamara and Mr. Cisse. Jubiral Betentura, along, we have a political scientist here and we also have a government teacher here. So, along ko tablo niya atenstal demanding, but kung nga fanyameng, he's a comrade, he's also a brother to me. So, along ko maybe nga nekil na prukaje bangko niyeta. The political party kumandila. Jamabe je akakola la puri soto. Belem party yul belem UDP, NPP, United Party ike kuman le because on nala mantara na kan je pruka mo ngaibe wala ka party ngaibe be men na mo ndiko ka jibe ila party la agenda wafi ni atrebi la ko la party min e ba support kan party le me ko ajarale na hila agenda wafi ngani amaki ko me dolbe wa hilu jin lanan kana le membe mbulo ko no boltan lela nga mal la dame na ngafo ite hakko ite me alon ko bir party men kono nete wolon na katam bitala so ndelo mem go mi question le fay le kan wala ndo ngi debate over issues mane alon ko be darle mem burji la fa priya ko ndim so mo kana bari platform wala ni la fa be pare di nyaaton ka yala ike pare o kamale pri pare daro kamani ike pare mistegol ni nyoli fol kamale wato dolo ndol mebe jan kabin pare da ngaji le mbebe jele kana ni pare me wuri la nyobulo ngajenja so it is not a debate quand même mais ngaji ko be tember ne ko da laro bon ni mo la fatil ma tondo aga ko yalla do manne although est-ce que les mourou diam nyaaji yami ko akapati kade so wala tra ko boni ka tra mina be dinar ko dam maleto so be molbi commande lamine yalon ko nin ka nombal fanam bonni le always nga anim flal boni nyola ni ade fa ka participate programme mo nyine to pour ngi commande ngi invite ise mo link no le ide konko tv la fang link ni le no ba foy ko la fali invite programme to the Gambia'S be commande le nga jube to ko me yalon ko ila fa niya discuss ngana we make such about ngana si niya dibe wala niya ko nyi kacha banko ka data ne banko di me yalon ka data de dam maka din to da dating la sanga barol diamo me la ka fo moleko aka même fo social media ngamwe le mama kan nami ta diamo la so ande ka ka mwele nale ka lu fana mo ka ko ngata sino le mo kata sino
So wala na ka ni dang alo ko wala ni mo lay
so wala mo ka so ka ta ko ma mi do mi diko nyaado ngol ka na diamo moy nyamen aka falindi gol nyam bonni tura dating wayla ko me tinyaro ka am ko me nyaado ka kilne kon moti yami baro ko moti yami daba ko moti yami esafal o oda leader kon banko nyinga ban mel mi nawindi ko na banko nga wole kanu min mol beti ndenga gambele kanu useno nga gambele kanu esar nga gambele kanu yun tomal beti ak gambele kanu barote ala ko yun bebe wala nyama UDP be jana ni UDP di lay bi gambela bi gambel tala the same thing to fansu yeb parti la ni gambel tala go UDP te bala so ngalon ko mo kanele parti support fight tambi la banko la be nga banko support nga banko bi la ka nyaari ani fere yamba fala molbe ala baraka jubela running lon tawno anin cameraman men keta Mr. Sawoti maful mobe ko ala baraka and thank you so much murale ni njang next Wednesday inshallah thank you.